Hello, City Skylines fans. I'm Socksway Up, and welcome back to How to Get Your City Started in 2021, a vanilla tutorial series of City Skylines. I think we're getting close to wrapping this series up. Today, we're going to, if I can find the right button, there it is. We're going to take a look at what I did off camera to begin with. We extended this neighborhood a little bit, built all this out. This is zoned as well, and we're going to clean up. In this episode, we're going to clean up the rest of this industry. We're going to relocate our recycling centers and replace our power with some clean energy. We're going to take a peek at our pollution right now. And should be one of the only areas over here. We got some pollution from the industry. We're going to have to deal with that in the forest industry. But the plan is to get rid of all of this and eventually get rid of all of that as well. We'll see how far we can get, but let's take another peek at, what we did off camera. Again, we extended this neighborhood. If we look at this view, let's see, how do we get out of there? We are at 15,000, which means we hit the last milestone of 15,000, which opened up another tile and the liberal arts college area, and also some larger water treatment plants and advanced inland water treatment plants. Speaking of clean energy, let's take a look at that and see what does this do for pollution. Pollution's 20, pollution's 100 on that one. This is the one we want though. We want the eco water plants eventually, because the rest of these do give out pollution. We can't get that till 28,000 population. We will see, but we're going to take a look at our tiles here. And I think what we'll want to do, I had an idea of moving all the pollution to the island, but then I don't know. I went back and forth with that. I want to do something else with this island, I think. So we don't want to move all the pollution here. This is tough decisions. I should have pre-planned this. So we need recycling centers and some power locations. I'm going to think it over for a minute and get back with you. All right, thought it over for a minute. We're not going to be able to get rid of all pollution. I took a peek at, let's do this again. The recycling centers that we're going to have to use do give off 25 pollution still. That is a lot better compared to 100% in a landfill and 100% in the incineration plant. So that's going to kind of change things up. I thought you could get rid of all pollution. I must be mistaken. I think it just looks a lot better when it's only 25 pollution. So we are going to buy this tile. We're going to build out a little bit of an industry area out here, but we're going to try to limit the amount of pollution that's caused by that. Some of the other things that we have to look at is 24% of our population is uneducated. Looks like we need some elementary schools and a high school. University has plenty. Oh, no. I don't know why that highlighted. That's weird. But if we look at, let's get out of that view. We look at these jobs here. They want 16 uneducated, and they are suffering for that because they have too many well-educated. So we're gonna have to find a little bit of a balance. Hopefully, the amount of jobs that we have out here, which we highlight over there, do show they're also overpopulated with the highly educated individuals. So we should be able to get away with this with our current trajectory of education, to where when we get rid of these 5 here, 3 here, 1 here, they should move over to the forest industry and kind of rebalance these jobs, and then also free up some of those highly educated people to be able to extend our office areas. And potentially I do want to put some offices through here as well. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start demolishing some of this, and we'll probably play on pause for a second. Yeah, we're going to do that, and we'll get that going right now. All right, so what we did so far is we added a freeway exit here. We lowered the railroad to go underneath this road, and then we're going to build out here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how much electricity. We have 242. Now let's look at our clean options. I think the solar updraft tower is our best option. It gives off some noise pollution, but no actual pollution. But it also gives us 240 power. So that gives us right about where we were And we could make more of those if we need to. So let's take the smaller, let's grab the industry roads maybe. And let's just let's go out right here. And we're gonna build like a dedicated area for our power. Again, we are gonna have to have some industry in this area. So some of this right through here. We might put like a cargo hub here and maybe one there as well. But yeah, we'll get that going. And back to electricity. So we're gonna post that right in the middle here, facing that way. And we need to get that grid attached, or get this attached to the grid, I should say. So let's come across like that. We'll attach that up. It also needs some water. We'll have to get all this area covered with water as well. Looks like our sewage treatment is gonna be an issue soon. So we'll get that going. And then next, let's take a peek over here. So these buildings here kind of rely on each other. So let's go ahead and let's fix that right now. We'll clean up these electrical lines later, but I wanted to be able to eliminate all of this here, so that we can get this coloration coming back. We'll get this land coming back to life. Again, these recycling centers are going to use a little bit of, are going to cause a little bit of pollution. We want to build that out, so I don't want to do that too quickly. But let's take a look at what we have here. We have a coal plant. Let's go ahead. We can get rid of the coal plant. This one's oil, so we can get rid of that. So we can get rid of that coal plant. And then this incineration plant, we should be able to get rid of that. And what else do we have in here for electricity? Nothing pops up there. We just have the recycling to take care of. We should be able to dezone the rest of this now. Let's do that. And then we just have a place to put all of our recycling centers. So I'm gonna work on that next and show you what we came up with. All right, so we got that done. I did this little design here where we could fit in more recycling centers if we need to in the future. But right now, I think it's a good start in here. And let's take a little peek at where we're at. We still have a ton of industry demand, very high demand. And we have a medium demand for commercial. But if we come over here and take a peek, this is the building we looked at before. Now we have 8 out of 11 uneducated workers. We're a little short on educated workers, but it is starting to rebalance itself. And I also threw out another office area here that's gonna hopefully come in pretty nice once it upgrades. And we might zone something. Actually, let's zone some commercial, some high density commercial right there. I think that will cover up that hill a little bit once that comes in and take care of some of the demand. But I think what we're gonna do for the rest of the episode is we're gonna take a look at our population. You can see we're at 21% unemployment. We're gonna fix that before we zone any more new houses. We're gonna get that down to a more reasonable level, which means we need a lot of offices potentially and a lot of commercial demand. Needs a lot of commercial buildings. So we're gonna take a look at that next. Oh, before we end this little segment, take a look at how our pollution's clearing up here. So now we can do whatever we want with this area. We will probably do some commercial and offices out here, and then eventually we'll continue this residential area towards this beach and eventually be able to clear that up as well. All right, in the spirit of showing some tricks and tips to vanilla Cities Skylines, let's take a look. We're gonna fix the population or the unemployment issue, but it's kind of fixing itself. It's hovering around 20%, but we're gonna get it down to like 3. That's the goal. If we look at education, we have 20% uneducated. We have a few buildings that are gonna need those uneducated individuals. If we look out here, that's a wrong one. We hover on workers, we can see that we have 6 highly educated individuals. It only wants 1, but it actually wants 6 uneducated workers. So we're gonna come to this new residential area. We made a district. We're gonna click on policies, and just for this district, we're gonna do schools out. That should prevent these adults from going to school, and they'll prefer to go to start working instead of getting highly educated. So we're gonna let that run. We're gonna have to fix some of these industry demands and commercial demands before we see any benefits from that, but we're gonna do that first. We're gonna take this little area here. we'll just continue with the roads that we're having. We're gonna meet this up pretty close with the highway now. Let's pause it because we're gonna have to break this electricity. And then we'll fix that. We're gonna come over like that, attach it that way. I saw a little piece of district or industry that snuck past us. And then we're gonna build, let's do some one-way roads in here. So we're gonna add some offices out here. Just adding a little bit of roads and some infrastructure. And then we're gonna grab just the office zoning. We're gonna zone the inside and then we'll rotate. We'll actually do right in here, we're gonna do a cut through. One way's probably fine there. And we're gonna add a little bit of regular commercial because I don't want this to be super skyscrapers here, but I do want there to be some commercial for these individuals that work out here. We'll add a little bit more offices there and a little bit of commercial there. And we'll take a look at our plazas. We'll go ahead and throw one right here. And we'll kind of mix it up. We have one there already, but we'll throw one there as well, just to add some parks. And prior to zoning this, let's go ahead and go back to our buses as well. And let's drag that one out to here. Let's put it up there. And then that'll give them more coverage. Words are hard. More coverage for parking as well. So now water is going to also be an issue out here, so let's fix that. Oh, we missed a little bit there. We'll come over and finish it. And let's take a peek at this as it grows in and see if that's going to be enough of the demand to balance it out. Let's take a peek at our unemployment level. Those are growing. We still have, wow. So we have only 5,000 people employed and we have 6,000 jobs available, which is really weird. I guess that's kind of backwards. I don't understand the math there, but eventually once you get it balanced correctly, you'll see that unemployment number drop. And let's take a look at these buildings and see how they're getting filled up. Again, there's way more highly educated people than we need in this city. We might want to actually extend this district a little bit more potentially and see if that helps. And then we're starting to get growth out here as well. That electricity should fix itself once enough of those buildings grow. We're getting closer. Getting closer. Hopefully they don't get too demolished prior to that happening. But I think that little pocket came in kind of nice there. Coming off the freeway, we got a couple large buildings, some small commercial, and that industry demand is still spiking. So as people move in, they want their industry, and I'm assuming because of how well educated they are. Oh look, that helped over there. So we got coverage for electricity. I'm assuming this is one of the things that I think the game should separate, is there should be a separate demand for offices in my opinion. But I guess they are the one and the same in this game. So let's take a peek at that now. We might have to, oops, we might have to keep going. So we dropped it to 16. So let's extend this area. Whoops. Let's see, where are our roads? One-way road that cuts this way. We'll just bring that up like that. Oops, that's too far. Let's keep this pattern that we have going. Let's go like that. That's not straight. Fix this road real quick like. And then we'll upgrade it so it goes the right direction. Do the same with this one. And then we'll have some, whoops, we missed one up here. Right there, or we did it twice, one of the two. And then we'll have some cut throughs here as well. And just like we did with the other high dense areas, these one-way roads should help with the traffic. That might be too many intersections. This might look pretty cool when we get done zoning it though, with the hills that way. And I'm just kind of mixing up where the commercial goes in here and where the offices go. I think it makes a nice blend. And let's see that come in. You can see those things are growing really quick because of how high that demand is. And I think that makes a nice transition from some, a little bit of taller buildings into some commercial. We'll fill this area in next, and then into our large residential suburb area that we can extend all the way down to the beach now and fill in through here, potentially in here, and blend into the other downtown there. So now that that's close to being fully in, got it down to 14%. People employed are going up. Not as fast as I would like, but they are going up. Jobs available. Also, I think I don't know how you calculate those. I was actually on a stream on Twitch a while back, and the streamer was trying to figure out the calculation, and we could not figure out the equation for that. It's kind of interesting. We forgot to connect that. That's some missed opportunity for some buildings. So let's throw a little bit more. Switch to this tool. Go like that. And we're going to mix it up just like this. Nice little blend. All right, let's let that come in and check on it in just a second. All right, let's take a peek at our progress here. We filled in a little more areas. We added in some offices here, some more commercial. You can see our commercial demand's pretty satisfied. We're now down to a medium for industries. As I was adding things, it was coming and going the way that the demand was. So we got all the way down to the industry being empty, and then some more houses built and the industry went up. So let's take a peek at our numbers now. If we look at employment's at 5% and improving. So that is good. As these buildings still upgrade, they'll add more employees. If we look at some of these buildings, you can see we still have education a little bit high on some of these buildings. We have 5 highly educated there when they only wants 1. And over here we have 4 when it only wants 1. So then we take a peek at our education level, and we can see that is improving. We were at 20% uneducated. That is increasing. These numbers should balance out. I'm gonna leave it like this for a while. We have plenty for university capacity, and then we're slowly educating other individuals. So you can see this area is not getting much education, which was by design to kind of play around with the numbers. And unemployment 5%. I wanted to get it down to like 3, but I think that's good for this episode. That area came in pretty nice. Kind of just look at some of the areas of the city while we talk about our future plans. One of the things we're going to do is, we're going to repurpose some of this area here, probably throughout right here, and do a campus DLC episode next. And then that might be it for vanilla. One of the other things we'll want to do with this city, and as the last episode that I want to do, is we're going to enable mods, and we're going to go through, we're going to update some of these commercial areas to have parking lots and kind of show off a little bit of what you can do with mods. We'll improve some of these freeway exits, maybe with some pre-made assets, or just do it ourselves with something like Move It. But that's kind of the plan, was to build out this city with vanilla, kind of touch on a lot of the aspects of it. You know what? Let's add another episode. We're going to do a campus DLC. We're going to do subways as well. There might be a few more, so I don't want to commit myself to only 2 more episodes, but we'll come up with some more ideas and get a few more going. But let's take one last peek at our unemployment. It's at 4. It's still improving, and this is a way to kind of help you continue to grow your city. We had our demands way out of control. They're way skewed towards commercial and industry, and now we've got it more balanced. You can see our residential demand is up to medium, so we can start expanding the city again if we want. Take a look at our milestones. We'll want to get to that 18,000 next. Opens up baseball parks, some other waste transfer facilities, which might come in handy, and also some inner city things as well. And then eventually we want to get up to this 28,000 because that gives us an additional tile, which is definitely, let's get out of this view, needed for this area. We're going to want another freeway exit here. So that would be the next tile that I would purchase, and we'd have all 6 of these. But yeah, maybe we'll do a little off camera populating some of these areas that I want to populate, and then we're going to do the campus one next. And I think let's take one last peek. Yep. 4% coming in good. We got a little bit of complaints about not enough customers, but we will fix that when we add in a little more residential throughout here, I believe. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Again, thanks for hanging out. Look forward to the next ones coming out every Wednesday until we finish this series. As always, Let me know if you have suggestions of certain aspects of City Skylines that you'd like to see me do a walkthrough on, and we'll definitely grab that and add it to the series. But again, thanks for hanging out as we're staring at a nice boring railroad. There we go, there's some of the city. But yeah, I'm Socksway Up, thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you on the next one.